Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we're going to write the equation of a line, and you'll want to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. That's the form y equals mx plus b, where m is going to be your slope and b is your y-intercept. To calculate slope, we're going to use rise over run in this video, and your y-intercept is the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. It's the point 0b. Let's take a look at our examples. We're going to find the equation for this line in the slope-intercept form of y equals mx plus b, which means I'm going to need a slope and a y-intercept. I like to start with the y-intercept, which is where this line crosses the y-axis, and that's here. That's going to be this point, and this point is 0, -2. So my y-intercept is -2. So I'm going to take the -2 and I'm going to substitute it for b in my slope-intercept form. And that means now I'm going to have y equals mx minus 2. Notice they did keep the negative sign with the 2, so I have y equals mx minus 2. Then I'm going to need to find my slope. And for slope, we're going to calculate that using rise over run, which means on my line, I'm going to need to find 2 points that are where the lines of my coordinate plane intersect. And it doesn't matter which 2 points you choose, you just want to choose 2 points where the grid lines intersect. And I'm going to use these 2 points for finding my rise and my run. And I'm going to start with a point on the left, and I'm going to find the rise. And to do that, I'm going to need to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. My rise is 4, and then I'll need to form the rest of this right triangle between the 2 points by going to the right 1. So my run will be 1. Then I can plug those values in for my rise and my run. I had a rise of 4 and a run of 1, which gives me a slope of 4 over 1, and 4 over 1 is equal to 4. So my slope here is 4, and I'm going to take the 4 and substitute it for m in my slope-intercept form, which will give me the equation of this line as y equals 4x minus 2. We're going to be writing the equation of this line in slope-intercept form, so in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope, b is our y-intercept, and I like to start with the y-intercept, which is where this line crosses the y-axis, and that's here at this point. And this point is 0, -1, so our y-intercept is -1. So when I substitute the y-intercept of -1 in for b, I'm going to have -1. My y-intercept was -1, so when I place it in the equation, I'm going to have y equals mx minus 1. Now I can find the slope, and for slope, we're going to be looking at rise over run. And one thing to note here on our slope is that if I'm looking at this graph and I start on the left-hand side, this line is going down and to the right. And because it's going down and to the right, I know that my slope is going to be negative. So when I calculate my rise over run, I should be getting a negative slope. And I'm going to need 2 points on this line to use to calculate my rise and my run. And you can choose any 2 points you want. You just want to choose 2 points that are at the intersection of grid lines of the coordinate plane. So I'm going to use these 2 points. These 2 points are where my line crosses the intersection of grid lines on the coordinate plane. And I'm going to first start with the point on the left, and I'm going to calculate my rise. Starting with the point on the left, to make my right triangle, I have to go down 1, 2. And if I go down 2, my rise is -2. Then to complete my right triangle, I'm going to the right 1. So my run is 1. And now I can substitute these values for rise and run. My rise was -2. My run was 1, which means my slope is equal to negative 2 over 1, and negative 2 over 1 is equal to negative 2. Now that I have my slope of negative 2, I can substitute it for m in my slope-intercept form. So the equation of this line is y equals negative 2x minus 1. In this example, we have a line that passes through the origin, and we're going to write its equation in slope-intercept form, so in the format of y equals mx plus b, where b is our y-intercept, and we're going to start there. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and that's here at the origin. So our y-intercept is 0, 0. So our b value is also going to be 0. And we don't normally show it as y equals mx plus 0. So in slope-intercept form, when you have a line that passes through the origin, you're going to see it as y equals mx. You also may remember that we also have seen this as y equals kx, where k was our constant of proportionality. But we're going to be thinking about this as m being our slope for this example. And that means I need to calculate the slope. And our slope is rise over run. And that means I'm going to need 2 points on this line in order to use to create that right triangle to find our rise and our run. And you can choose any 2 points on this line as long as you're choosing points that are at the intersection of the grid lines of your coordinate plane. So I'm going to choose these 2 points. These 2 points are at intersections of the grid lines of this coordinate plane, and that's what I want to use to find my rise over my run. I'm going to start with the point on the left, and to create this right triangle, I'm going to be going up 1. That means my rise is 1. And to make the rest of the right triangle, I'm going to be going to the right 1, 2. So my run is 2. Now I can take these values and plug them in for my rise and my run. My rise was 1. My run was 2. So my slope is equal to 1 half. So I'm going to take the 1 half. I'm going to substitute it for the m, or for the slope, in my slope-intercept form. And the equation for this line will be y equals 1 half x. We're going to write the equation for this line in slope-intercept form, so in the form of y equals mx plus b. So we're going to need a slope and a y-intercept. And if we start with the y-intercept, our y-intercept is where this line crosses the y-axis, and that's here. That's going to be this point. And this point is 0, 3. So our y-intercept is 3. It's a positive 3, and we're going to substitute that for b in our slope-intercept form. So we have y equals mx plus 3. Now I'm going to need to calculate the slope. And to calculate slope, we're going to use rise over run, which means we're going to need 2 points on this line, and it doesn't matter which 2 points you use, you just want to pick points that are at the intersection of grid lines of your coordinate plane. So I'm going to use my y-intercept of 0, 3, and then I'm going to use this point. And from here, I can calculate my rise and my run by forming a right triangle between these 2 points. So my rise, if I start with a point on the left, I'm going down 1, 2, and if I go down 2, my rise is going to be negative 2. Then to make the rest of my right triangle, I need to go to the right 1, 2, 3. So my run is 3. Then I can substitute these values in my formula for slope of rise over run. My rise was negative 2 and my run was 3, which means that my slope is negative 2/3. And I'm going to take the negative 2/3 and substitute it for m in my formula. So the formula for my line is going to be y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.